Welcome to Electric Boogaloo Part 2, a podcast dedicated to the glory that is the movie sequel. On this show, you'll join myself, Taj Hodges, along with co-host Stephen Romo, in a monthly discussion with a guest who feels particularly passionate about yet another Part 2 film. We hope to bring to light the beauty, the horror, the desperate money grabs, and the welcome second acts that make up the sequels we hate to love and love to hate. Stephen and myself make no claims to be experts in film, nor do we claim the rights to any of the films we review. We just feel passionately about dumb stuff, and we're bored. If you're bored too and have ever played Electric Boogaloo, this might just be the podcast for you. You're here for an exciting episode. We diverted, like I said earlier. We weren't here for a couple of months, but we're back, and we're having a Stoner Christmas special extravaganza. We're going to be looking at the films Friday and Friday after next, which is actually the third in the series, which is weird for us. We've never done that before, but I think it's exciting, and we forgot to do Christmas, so here we go. With us today, we're really excited to have these guests, and I'm a little flabbergasted because I was actually reached out to and asked if we could have them on the show and talk about what's going on in Tucson, which I'm excited about. That's exactly what we wanted to do with this show. So without further ado, we have in the studio today local Tucson rapper Marley B and local Tucson hip-hop aficionado, grandmaster Pike Romero.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for reaching out. I'm really actually I'm honored. I hope that you are excited that my mom's going to know all about what's going on with your current projects in the works.
Your mom's a sweet lady.
She is. She's a very sweet woman. Mom, I love you. Loretta. Thank you. So
Mom shout out.
But Pike, you said you actually have heard the show before.
I've heard the show before.
That's awesome.
And that's how I reached out.
I know. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
I want to touch base on just, cool stuff that's happening in Tucson. And I think the podcast idea is great.
Awesome.
What you guys do is fun. So
we have good times most of the time. Last time was a little rough, but
last time fucking sucked.
Last time broke Romo for a while, and I'm sorry that we did that to you. I don't know.
I had to see the movie, so it was a matter of time.
But anyhow, enough about us. Marley, today is the first day that I've met you, but you have a working relationship with almost all the people in here. Just a relationship.
Yeah.
You're born in Tucson, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah, raised on the east side of Tucson. I love Tucson, and just been out here my whole life, pretty much.
That's great. That's great. And so, when did you start breaking into the rap scene in Tucson? Where you were listening to rap as a young kid?
Yeah, I grew up kind of around listening to hip hop. I listened to a lot of rock too growing up. My dad listened to a lot of rock, but I got into hip hop as I got older. I got into writing in high school, and I didn't really start rapping, like taking it serious, until about 2012, I would say. It's like the first year I really started doing shows and things like that, and just kind of been steady at it since then. So
cool. So would you say that Tucson has had some kind of an influence on what you as a rapper are bringing to the table? In comparison to what's going on in the rest of the country?
Yeah, absolutely. Tucson's such a, I don't know. It's like, it just has such a creative vibe here. Like, I love coming home, and I feel like I'm able to create good music, and it kind of has its own Southwest sound, Right. It's not really, there's not too many artists from Arizona or the Southwest in general that are really making a statement in the hip hop game. So it definitely influences me a lot. So
could you guys even name like somebody that you think is making...
Oh, we got like Futuristic, who's from Phoenix, and he's killing it. He's he's viral everywhere. Mega Ran.
People are talking more about Tucson.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got a good community out here. Everybody supports pretty well.
Yes, it's pretty diverse, which is what makes it really interesting and unique. So
definitely, and it's a city that people seem to come to as well.
Yeah,
which kind of leads me into talking about your what is this? 2014 release, The Tonight Show that
Yeah.
you did with Cash Lansky.
Yeah.
And he's not a Tucson native, right? I
No.
mean, he's from
Pittsburgh originally,
Okay,
but he's
yeah.
kind of bounced around, and then he moved out here. I think he was like 16 or
fairly-
something,
yeah.
like a sophomore in high school or
high school,
something.
something like
And
that.
yeah, he's been out here ever since, and he
So
fell in love
a
with
little
it
bit
too.
of growing up in Tucson.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, most
yeah.
of his life has been here, I think.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I get that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
A lot of people are transplants
Yeah,
out
we got
here,
a lot of
though, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah.
I've only been here for about 15 years, and I came here on a whim with some musicians, and never left.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those cities that if it works for you, then it works really well.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, back to Tonight Show. That was the first work that you did with Merv's?
Yeah, that was the first album that the only album we did on Label 316, which was
Okay.
it was just like a one-off album. He was kind of trying to help us out. We had DJ Fresh on the album, which is a pretty big producer from the Bay Area, and it kind of, it was a good.
How did that come to be? How did you guys cross paths?
Actually, Merz was living in Tucson at the time, and originally, like, the first time I met him was because my old boxing trainer was training him at the time, and I was like, he's like, yo, I'm training this rapper named Merz, you know who he is? I was like, dude, that's like one of my favorite rappers, and so I had him ask, like, hey, ask him if I can come in and talk to him, if I don't want to feel like I'm bugging him, and I went in there and talked to him, got his email, and we kind of kept in touch for probably like a year and a half, and then he came and approached me and was like, hey, I'm starting a label, would love to help you out, and so we just kind of built from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I checked out some of his stuff this week just to be on the right page. I'm
Yeah.
not usually that hip.
Tucson legend, dude. Tucson
Yeah.
homie, really.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he
Cool.
really
Okay.
he really supports everybody out here for the
Yeah.
most part, and he used to own a record shop downtown, I believe.
Okay.
And
Okay.
It sounds fresh. Sound fresh?
Rosie's. He ran Rosie's hip hop shop.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was called Rosie's before. I think it was called Rosie's. And then Zachy Force Funk, I believe, bought it from him.
Okay.
yeah, he took it over, I believe.
Yeah, took it over. Yeah.
Tucson hip hop legacy.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember the name of Zachy's shop, man. But
well, he had Planet Z, and then
Planet Z.
but then I think they kept it as Rosie's.
Yeah.
Planet Z was on Speedway, and then Rosie's was like literally across the street from Rodstant Center.
Is this going back before my
But-
time?
yeah.
Okay.
This,
This
I
is
wanna make
about 15 years
Because
ago.
I worked in
Yeah.
record stores. I think I would have known.
This is
It's-
about 98, 99.
Okay, yeah.
You know
That's pretty
the jewelry store next to Miss Saigon's.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that used to be Rosie's. I'm pretty sure that was the location.
It was a fun time. Tucson was much different.
I didn't.
yeah,
I
I've heard
wasn't
stories
actually.
about
I
Yeah,
was
it's
in
before my
college.
time too.
I was
so
in Oklahoma.
I wasn't old
City.
enough.
I was in Oklahoma City that time
Yeah,
when
I
that
mean-
was going around.
Yeah.
So like,
I
there's very
met-
little bit do I know
I
about it.
met Herm, Bonus, and Merz at the Velvet Sea Garden
Uh huh.
in like the late 90s, and that was just
Yeah.
the scene.
Yeah,
That was
it.
They were like the only chance to do it though. Marcus was getting in on the scene.
Yeah.
He had a group.
Yeah, Ox was.
Big Ox, yeah,
That
Big
was.
Ox,
He was
Big
the
Ox.
first one. He was the first one that I had heard about when I lived here, and that before I went for college, and that was in like '98.
Romo and I used to pester Big Ox to let us be his rhythm section. And I think
Yeah.
you actually did do that at some point, or during like
Just for the pangs, yeah.
for the pangs. But
That's
but yeah.
funny.
Hey, let us play with you. Yeah, we
Yeah.
should do that. Whatever. And, yeah. Now, much love and much respect to Big Ox. Obviously, he is another great local rapper. Yeah. Well, and then I did this week as well. Check out your most recent release, 2016. What in like July you released
Yeah.
Grow.
Yeah, I think it was August, but yeah, we released Grow. It was independent under my management, Golden Artist Group. It's my first actual independent work with original beats. Only me. It wasn't like a collaboration album like the one with me and Cash. And
Right.
the only thing I've had before that was kind of like mixtapes on industry beats and things
Right.
like that, free singles. So it was just kind of to get my foot in the door and see how it worked and it went pretty well. I think the
record.
reaction was well. Yeah, I think it was. I think it really got the message across that I was trying to portray for the most part. So it's called Grow, and it's just about my growth as an artist over the past 4 years, and how my music's changed, and how I've changed, and how everything around us is changing in the scene and things like that. So
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the track titles had a lot to do with that whole growth process.
yeah, that was kind of the meaning behind it, at least.
That's good. And there's I hear works for something in fall of 2017.
Yeah, I'm gonna be working on another album. I believe it's gonna be like a 5 to 7 track album. I'm gonna be working exclusively with the producer. I don't want to release the name yet or anything like that, but it should be fun. It should be the next step in what I think is the right direction for me in my career, and knocking down some more doors and getting out on the road again and things like that. So
Right. Until then, touring or anything like that?
I got some spot dates here and there. I'm doing a show in Seattle coming up. I'm doing the show we'll be talking about, the hip hop festival and things like that. And then I'm also, I believe I'm going to be doing Tech 9 in Tucson coming up too, which should be pretty big. So just kind of trying to stay busy. And
you've got quite a list of artists that you've opened for: Big Boy, Tech 9, E40.
Yeah. But I mean, shout out to Phenomenon Promotions. They've really looked out for me and believe in what I can do, and we help each other out. And it's definitely been beneficial to get in front of these crowds that normally won't look at local music, but they're going to see these big name artists, and they're kind of forced to sit there. But if you can really put some music in front of them that they're going to jam to, that's
And it's tough
human
to find
nature,
a promoter
so
that's willing to take that chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of times they're relying off that opener to like bring in a certain local pool or something.
Yeah, or pay money or
Right.
whatever it may be.
No.
And going after actually being able to tour and seeing these other cities, like it's really like opened my eyes to how thankful I am to be in Tucson and like have these opportunities, and because a lot of places don't have these venues that will book local hip hop or local music in general for the most part. So it's awesome that we do have such a like artistic culture out here.
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons that I did end up staying here. It's so easy to just get plugged in if you're trying.
Yeah.
So Marley and Pike, is this the Hip Hop Fest your first endeavor together, or have you guys worked together in the past?
Yeah, we've worked together in the past.
Yeah.
We did my album release at the Scratch Shack.
Yeah, we had the album release at the Scratch Shack.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That
But
was
we've
pretty
done quite a few shows together.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we've been friends for a minute now. So
Right, and when you're talking about the shows, is that through We Are Bugging Out? Is that We Are Bugging Out Productions?
yeah, through wearebuggingout.com. That's kind of the promotion team that I kind of run, and then local website that focuses and emphasizes on Tucson hip hop.
Okay.
So it's it kind of encompasses. I really just focus on quality hip hop.
Right.
Even though I focus on Tucson, there's still like a quality feature that I kind of want. So I kind of just post what I like and what I want to promote. So it's cool.
Good.
Yeah, and Scratch Shack, I mean, that was, that's a venue that a few of myself and a couple other people just kind of put our resources together and just made, a cool place happen for, local hip hop and local, or not local, but national hip hop in general.
Right.
Every show.
That was kind of a vacuum in Tucson for a while. I mean, in my eyes, I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't aware of what was going on.
No, it was getting a majority of a lot of the touring acts coming through, and smaller underground hip hop shows were really going through there, and it's a great venue. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The majority of our shows that we've had there are been national shows that we put, with local artists and stuff. So
right. Oh no, and I didn't mean you guys were the vacuum. I meant there just was
I
there
understand.
were no local venues.
yeah,
totally.
There was specific
Yeah, and
catering.
DIY venues in general, here in Tucson, it's they come and go, obviously, because it's just that's what happens.
Tough road. I mean,
tough market. For sure.
people think that there's a lot of money in that stuff. There's not.
No.
You do it because you're passionate about it, man.
Yeah.
Or you have some old rich people that are willing to pay for you to do it. Like, hey, we're going to convince these people that this is
an investor of some sort.
Exactly, and it is. But anyhow,
We all wish we had Mocha money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're definitely going to talk a lot more about Hip Hop Fest, but we do have to get to the meat and potatoes of the theme of this podcast, which is reviewing a sequel. Today, we, on the suggestion of Marley B, watched Friday and Friday After Next, which I said earlier is actually the third installment in the Friday series of 3 films. But we missed Christmas, and it's a really... Okay, so the first and second one are pretty similar, and the third one goes in kind of a different, darker slant. So I thought it was kind of an interesting...
Yeah.
But yeah, so Marley, when was the first time you saw Friday, would you say? The first one?
The first Friday, I was probably like 12, 13,
Yeah.
probably. So that was like '01. I mean, 6 years after it came out, or something like that, or the first time I remember seeing it and really understanding it. And yeah, I enjoyed it then, and I didn't even fully get the concepts
Right.
or anything like that. I mean, I liked Ice Cube already, and
the
I liked.
characters are so colorful that
Yeah.
it's just like you don't need to necessarily get that it's all about him getting stoned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I didn't understand that until I got older, but I still just liked the movie. I liked the subtle comedy in there and things like that.
right.
So
yeah, you brought up a point while we were watching it. That scene with Chris Tucker where he sticks his foot out the car.
yeah,
Yeah, and the and like the director made the choice to like focus in on his foot and his tongue
dragging
backwards. And,
it's like my favorite scene, dude. You just scuffs the
like
chuck.
Another shot and him walking off. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the little things like that that really make it a hilarious movie.
Absolutely.
But yeah, well, how about you, Romo? When was the first time you saw Friday?
I think it was like pretty like right on when it first came out. I don't think I saw it like in the theater,
Right.
but
Maybe
like
when you were
on
11,
cassette. Yeah, probably like 11.
12. Pike, were you also someone that saw it right away, or did it take you a sec to catch?
Yeah,
up?
it took a little bit. You know, like 90. I think 97, 98 was when I first watched. You know, Friday. So, yeah, I had the VHS and I just left it in and I rewind it and play it like every day after school. So
Awesome.
yeah, classic.
I remember when Friday came out, they had their soundtrack, which is all like more hip hop, like current to that day.
Right.
And then they released Friday Old School, which is all like their throwback jams.
Yeah, all the like the.
I didn't
the
realize
Marley
that.
And the, yeah,
It was
there's,
rad.
There's
I
some
didn't know
amazing, some amazing old soul tracks in that.
So it was like
film.
two soundtracks.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And they came out
Yeah, I
like
didn't know
months
that.
apart. It was fucking rad.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know
dope.
that.
Yeah. So, yeah, for those of you that don't know, Friday, the first one came out in 95. You know, it was not Ice Cube's first foray into film. He had already been involved with the Players Club, I believe. No, wait, Players Club was in 98, I think. Yeah, it was after. It was totally after. Well, he had already acted in a few movies, obviously Boys in the Hood. And what else happened before that? But anyhow, it was I saw it probably right around the same time that it came out too. Really early on. That was actually 95 was the first year that I got stoned, so I immediately could relate to it. So
Good year.
so yeah, it was a good year. It was a good year. That was Lollapalooza 95. Oh, sorry, Mom.
Right.
Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, as we always do, we're gonna have Romo give us a synopsis of the first Friday film, and then we'll go on from there.
All right. I'm really, really, really high right now. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It is the season. You know, it's the nature of the film.
I'm.
Yeah.
All right. So
You can't even remember.
Yeah.
so Craig gets fired from his job as like a postage delivery man.
Craig being Ice Cube, of course.
That's right. And he gets fired on his day off, and then his best friend Smokey sells weed from Big Worm, and he also smokes his own shit. And then they're just hanging out, and Big Worm wants his money or his drugs, and Smokey and Craig end up getting high, and then they start doing gangster related hijinks while getting high. And Debo punches Felicia in the face, and Craig ain't having that. And
Craig is not happy.
Craig
At all.
breaks a trash can over his head and throws a brick at his face. Then when you got knocked the fuck out. Remember?
I was actually listening to the new Chance the Rapper record, or the most recent one, and he has a line that's up in your head like Craig was on Debo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
dang! Like it just happened to come on earlier this week on my phone.
It's like he knew.
It's like he knew that we were going to do this podcast like 12, 8, 9 months after he
But honestly, like if I shouldn't have to explain the plot of Friday. Like everyone's seen it, and if you haven't seen it,
actually, Justin said that Bethany
has
hasn't.
never seen
Bethany,
Friday, dude.
of course, I always forget to introduce him. Our producer is in the room. He doesn't have a microphone, but you can hear him
That's
because
why I sound so distant.
he's always as loud as me, but likes to pretend that I'm the loudest. But his girlfriend Bethany has not seen it, and she is she's
I've seen it.
27, right, or something. 28. So she was of that age bracket again that like it might have been too young to see it right when it first came out, and then just never caught it later on. So I think that it's not crazy unheard of. But yes, the majority of people have seen Friday. And then, of course, we did skip over next Friday, which is the follow-up.
Oh, shit.
Where Craig has to be hidden in the suburbs because Debo's going to break out of jail and seek his revenge for getting knocked the fuck out, which is one of the key catchphrases that repeats in every single movie. And in doing so, he meets his cousin Day Day, who's played by Mike Epps, and he get into suburban hijinks in that one.
Yeah,
and,
not so much gangster hijinks, more suburban.
Exactly. It's of course the plot drives around if you don't get money by this time, then you're gonna lose your house, lose your life, lose for the second and third. It's both. You're gonna lose your house.
Yeah, it's the house.
The first one is lose your life, which is pretty intense.
Like the first one was like super gangster, and the next two like kind of go more family oriented if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like it's more. It's more you can watch it with your kids. The
second one definitely, except it is still. I mean, that's still them smoking weed.
But I think it's just like the barriers of like 95 that was like acceptable, and then like when you got to 02, it's like you can't have like shootouts on this. You can't be getting shot over weed and
exactly. And in 2000,
make money off of
was
it.
Ice Cube a family man by 2000? Because he definitely.
Family man.
I mean, if we're talking about the cast a little
Yeah.
bit, Ice Cube, he went from doing things like Players Club and Dangerous Minds, and of course the classic Anaconda, to doing things like Are We There Yet?
Yeah.
So. That happens with a lot of comedians. I think that Eddie Murphy did the same thing where he started doing like Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah.
So
It's that paper chase.
yeah, I guess it could be that too.
Or is it? Do you get too old to look cool being a gangster? Could it be that?
No, I think he's just
because you got the
Ice Cube is
OGs in
still
the
hard
movies.
as
Like
hell, man.
yeah.
Did you see him on that interview with his son when Straight Outta Compton was? They probably did it a few times. But he was on the interview for Straight Outta Compton on Conan or whatever, and man, they're just like spitting image. But both like at one point he's like, "You guys got to do the glare," and they both did. It was just like,
oh yeah,
shit.
They do look like twins.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that look.
Yeah.
That eyebrow.
Eyebrows.
Yeah. Speaking of Straight Outta Compton, the director of the first Friday, F. Gary Gray, actually directed Straight Outta Compton. So a little
fun fact.
Little trivia for our listeners.
Yeah,
in case you want to impress your friends with your knowledge of a movie from 1995. Yeah, so is that it? That's your synopsis. That's
I mean,
what more is there?
there's a
really
lot.
it. I mean,
I can go deeper, but every time I go deeper in it just ends up taking a half hour.
You're right. Thank you. I actually do appreciate the brevity because this is the first time that I have people like promoting. Well, no, I guess Dang was promoting a show, but this is it's exciting to me that we're actually helping people and promote some stuff that's going on in Tucson. So for a second now, then we're going to take a quick break. Listen to this little ditty that we've created, or I've created, that Romo has.
I hate it.
He already hates it. He hasn't even heard it yet, but he hates it every time. And we'll be right back with part 2 of Electric Boogaloo, part 2.
Ho, 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 motherfucker. Ho, 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 motherfucker. Ho, 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 motherfucker. Ho, 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 motherfucker.
Holy moly, donut shop.
One on your balls, 2 grab a handful.
Holy moly, donut shop.
1 on your balls, 2 grab a handful.
Holy moly, donut shop.
1 on your balls, 2 grab a handful.
Holy moly, donut shop.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Go! I beatbox your ass. 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 You got knocked the fuck out, bitch!
Thank you for sticking around for this exciting adventure down the road with the Friday After Next. So Marley, we have a tradition where the guest gets to speak, or rather give us a synopsis of the movie that we just watched, just to kind of hear what they have to say. And I guess, also, Pike, feel free to chime in if you think Marley drops the ball. You said this was the first time you saw this one.
This was the first time I saw it. I only saw probably...
That's right, you weren't here.
Yeah, I saw kind of I missed the middle
He had
part.
to make a lunch run.
Pike saved our very stoned butts because I thought that Chiba Hut would deliver to here. We like to get something that, is Chiba Hut even really local to Tucson? Or are they from somewhere else originally?
It's a chain.
It's a chain, but it's only like the Southwest and the West Coast. There's only a few of them. Yeah.
This is the only place I've ever seen it. We try to do something where we eat local.
Yeah.
On our show, and Pike was nice enough when delivery would not come here to go and get our food. So thank you. So he
thank
missed
you,
a
man.
chunk of
Thank
the movie,
you.
which he had never seen before. So
Which is
shout
okay
out to
because
Pike.
I
Well, now you're gonna
watched
get
the
my
end of it.
synopsis, dude. So.
It's a weird movie.
It is a weird
It is
movie.
different.
It came out in 2002. It was a budget of $10 million to make the movie. On its opening weekend, it made that back with $13 million. And went on to gross $33 million. It's considered a modest profit. They didn't think it was too exciting, but it's one of those cult things, I think. And a lot of people don't necessarily want to go see it in the theater, especially at that time. They probably want to go see it at home and get high with the characters because, again, it's another one where pot smoking ensues, which I always think is funny because in the first one, Craig had never smoked weed.
Yeah.
And by the second one, he's carrying around a whole bunch of weed. And then in the third one again, he's like, and when Mike Epps is freaking out on him, he's like, I'm going to get you stoned. And
Yeah, he's like the full-fledged smoker at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. So in 2002, the films that were top in the charts were Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings 2, or Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, rather.
Yeah.
Star Wars 2.
Yeah, there was a lot of good ones that year.
Let's see. What is this?
Friday after
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That came out that year, too.
And number 5 that year was My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
That was a big movie.
I saw that
was
movie
really
in the
big.
theater. My friend Becca took me to see that movie in the theater at the cheap seats.
Somebody got friend zoned.
Yeah.
Somebody got
friend zoned.
Oh yeah.
Cheap
Oh
seats
no.
for the-
Becca
my
is a
big
dear
fat
friend of
Greek.
mine. She's a fellow musician, and we've done a lot of music together over time. But yeah, that's my cross to bear, man.
Yeah.
I'm just too nice a guy. So
Wow.
it comes across as creepy, unfortunately.
Don't
I think that's the main problem. But we're not here to talk about my personal issues. We're here to talk about Friday After Next, which is a Christmas movie, which I think is great because then you have that ability to have a film like be beloved every year. Like people want to go back to it. It's I think that Ice Cube actually described it as an anti-Christmas movie. But I mean, still, it's based around the holidays. And all of that. Taglines for this movie were "When last Friday was just another day," which I don't really understand.
Just another day.
So it's
Well, they did. The next two are
really boring.
"Christmas in the Hood," which again, I don't know,
selling, but
Cliche.
and "The Party's Back in the Hood," which doesn't really involve the Christmas theme.
No.
well, it does. I guess they're trying to say like he's back from the suburbs.
Yeah,
next Friday.
that's true because that was it. It was the return to the hood.
South
At that
Central.
point. Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn the mic over to Marley and have you kind of
right,
run us through the plot.
yeah,
We're gonna jump in and say ridiculous things
Okay.
and talk about specifics of the movie. We'll just see how well we can recap it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Friday After Next, it takes place back in the hood, like we said. Craig is living with his cousin Day Day, who you get to know in Next Friday.
Yes, Mike Epps doing a
Yeah,
great job.
there's no more Smokey, and everybody was quite upset about that.
Yeah, actually, they had even asked Chris Tucker to come back and do
The third
this one,
one. Yeah.
and he said no. And apparently, an hour within the time that he said no, Mike Epps had called up the studio and was like, "Hey,
Remember me?
I'll do it." So they brought him back.
Yeah, so it takes place, and the first scene is it actually is a pretty action-packed scene with Santa Claus breaking into their apartment and stealing all their gifts, and Craig catches him in the middle of this and tries to attack and defend his property and his money, because his rent money, I believe, is something that gets taken too,
Yeah,
right?
they hide the rent money in the speaker, and I don't
Yeah.
think the guy even realized he was stealing the rent money. He just was stealing speakers.
Yeah. And the whole time he's yelling and trying to get Day Day to wake up, and
Day Day
he's
ain't
doing
having
it.
it.
He's-
Because as
he's
we
passed
know,
out.
Day Day is a little bit of well, he just doesn't tend to get himself into altercations. At
got-
least not in the beginning of this movie.
no.
He got real mode. We'll say that.
He got Romo.
It was too high.
Yeah.
He was in a coma.
Yeah.
Aroma.
So
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
So
No.
Santa, it turns out Santa gets away, at least from this first scuffle. Gets away with the goods and the money, and Craig wakes up Day Day and calls the police. And the police show up and don't really take the report too serious when you're reporting a man in a Santa Claus costume stealing presents and money. It really doesn't
Yeah.
get taken too serious. And on top of that, I believe they take their weed plant too,
They
Yeah.
do.
which is just like
And
the
they're really
nail in the coffin
blatant.
there for them.
They're really blatant that they are going to enjoy that
The weed plant, yeah.
The Santa in question is played by Rickey Smiley, who actually has a new show that you guys or Pike, you were
Pike
saying
is aware of.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a good friend that's on his show with him.
Oh, dang!
His name is Head Crack.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, there you go. Tucson ties.
Yeah.
Going across state lines. It's called the Rickey Smiley Show, and he's actually pretty accomplished comedian. He was in First Sunday, which a lot of the actors in this movie, Ice Cube and a bunch of others, have also been in or were in.
Yeah.
And he was in the hit Baggage Claim, which I don't know if
I don't know
of
if
you
I ever saw
remember.
that.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone ever saw that. but yeah, the new Rickey Smiley Show. So he put on a great performance, physical actor. So yeah, and very funny with his quips.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry for interjecting.
No,
Back
you're
to start.
fine.
They're interviewed by the cops, who I looked up. Their names were actually Officer Axe and Officer Hole.
This is a fun
And
little
they get the
pun.
report.
Yeah. But yeah, so the officers don't take the report too serious, and Craig and Day Day start their new job as top flight security at the local shopping center that Craig and Day Day's father have.
What, barbecue's so good you'll slap your mama?
Yeah, that spot. Yeah, barbecue's so good you slap your mama.
Yeah.
So they take over and they decide, okay, well, we'll just go get money the legal way,
Right.
and we're gonna go work this shift and try to make our money for our rent. And so they show up to the job and they meet their new boss, who's a wild. I don't know what is he? Is he
I think he's supposed to be of
like
some sort of
like a
East Indian
East
descent.
Indian, yeah,
Somewhere in there.
buddy.
Buddy.
That's what he.
His character's name is Molly.
Molly,
He runs
yeah.
Holy Moly Donuts.
Yeah, that's right. Holy Moly Donuts, which is another place in that actual shopping center that they're security guards at.
Yep. He's played by Maz Jobrani, who, he's not really necessarily known for a lot of stuff, but he's been on a lot of TV shows. He was on Rush Hour 2. But what I thought was funny was that he's on an episode of a show called Superior Donuts that actually airs February 2nd. It's not out yet, but I just thought the donut
The
connection.
donut tie, yeah.
Yeah, that was odd
Holy
to me
Moly's
in the
Donuts.
moment. I was really high too, though.
Yeah.
But yes, so they get their job.
They get their job back. So I believe the first scuffle that ensues, or problem that ensues, is Day Day goes up and bothers some old ladies caroling.
Yeah,
at
Day Day
the-
gets all like crazy power hungry.
Yeah, once he throws on that whistle and that
Yeah,
badge.
the whistle, man.
Yeah, he's top flight security of the world, and he decides that he's going to go up and heckle these carolers and get them off the property. And little does he know that that'll come back to haunt him later in the movie. One of the grandmas is well tied to some thug life. Yeah, some thug life gang members that'll come back to haunt them. But yeah, so continuing from that, they go on about their day doing their job. You soon meet Cat Williams, who runs what is that, the pimp boutique there in the Pimps and Hoes. Yeah, that's the name of it.
Actual
Yeah.
name of the store. It's great.
Pimps and Hoes, and at this point you see that Craig has a new love interest, just like in all the movies. I believe there's a love interest for him in all three of them.
Her name is Donna in this movie.
Donna.
She is played by the lovely K.D. Ambert. She's a very, very, very attractive young lady in this movie.
Yeah.
She appeared in the Clueless TV show,
Oh, okay.
as well as Soul
that
Plane.
Soul Plane.
Yes,
Classic.
I think she was a stewardess in Soul Plane,
Classic.
and also
It's got to be a sequel for that.
in Scorpion King, she was listed as Harlot.
Oh.
So I think I'm definitely
about
gonna go retread
back.
the Scorpion King.
Go back and look that one up.
Oh,
Scorpion.
Lifetime movies? She's not in any of those?
I
Hallmark?
probably. I don't know.
Probably.
Does
I can
IMDb
only
list
write so many
Lifetime
things.
movies?
Probably. I hope so. It should. The quality TV shows.
Quality movies.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, you find that Craig seems to be interested in this girl here, but she's working for the local pimp Cat Williams, who's running the Pimps and Hoes shop. And he's
Money
kind of
Mike.
disrespectful.
That's
Yeah,
his
Money
name,
Mike. Yeah,
Money
Money
Mike.
Mike. And he plays a great pimp.
Yes,
by the
he
way.
does. And actually, this is the first movie that Cat Williams did, 2002. And he looks young, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
does look a
young.
lot
he
younger.
looks pretty
Yeah.
young. He did a
pre-
great job, though.
He has a-
Pre-Dipset.
Yeah.
Pre-dip set.
I don't know what that means, but it's funny to me.
He's part of a Cameron,
Yeah.
part of a rap group called Dipset.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Dropping some knowledge on my brain. I think you just wrinkled my brain. No, that's great. Yeah, and then from there,
Let's see what's the next thing that happens. I believe it's they run into.
well, Craig tries to calm Day down.
Yeah.
Craig's like, dude, you're getting all power.
Yeah,
hungry,
you're getting
crazy. He drags him behind the store.
Yeah, they go to calm down and smoke some weed in the alley, smoke some chronic,
Right.
and relax in the alley behind the shop.
And then fucking Santa comes around, right?
Yeah, once, but I believe Day-Day's
Uncle Elroy,
Uncle Elroy, Day-Day's dad,
Day-Day's
comes
dad,
out
played
and
by the hilarious Don DC Curry.
yeah, he's a good role.
Yeah.
He comes out and
Reprised
joins
his
them in
role.
the smoke sesh.
Yes.
And they're there smoking and kind of hanging out behind the shop. And before they know it, Santa pops up out of nowhere, the same Santa that robbed them earlier,
Right.
and holds them up at gunpoint and proceeds to take Uncle Elroy's watch.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't seem to like that very much and chases Santa. Once Santa starts running down the way, once he takes the gun off him and starts running down the alley, they chase him. And I believe Day runs the other way, blowing his whistle.
Yeah,
and
trying to get the
trying to get the cops who are in the Holy Moly Donut shop hanging out, of course.
Officers Jackson Hole.
Officers Axon Hole, the same cops that filed the report. I guess they're just the only cops in that area.
Eating donuts.
Eating donuts, yeah.
Obviously.
And they don't. Once again, they don't take the threat seriously. The masked Santa Claus gets away
Yeah, man.
with the watch, and they go back and they try to file a report again, and the cops say the same thing. We'll look into it. And then what happens next from there?
Is that Santa Claus? Is that Ricky Smiley?
Yeah, that's Ricky.
Okay.
Smiley.
Yeah, Ricky
So it's the
Smiley is
same
the
recurring
Santa
guy.
Claus.
It's the same Santa
guy.
Claus.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's either
Throughout the
a
film.
shoplifter- It's a shoplifter.
Is the shoplifters the next
Yeah,
part?
the shoplifters. Oh gosh, and what is that guy's name?
Yeah, he looks familiar.
He is. He's. Oh gosh, he's been in some stuff, and I.
Well, they got him all
cannot
cracked
write
out
his
in this
name down.
movie, so he looks a little bit different. He's missing some teeth and things like that. But yeah, some two. What is
Chris
it?
Williams,
Chris
who plays
Williams?
Broadway Bill, and his
Broadway
his
Bill.
girlfriend Erica
Who does
Bettina
it?
Phillips, who plays Booster Pat.
Booster Pat and Broadway
Yeah.
Bill. Those are some good names. So these two thieves come into the shopping center and decide to try to go into the Pimps and Hoes store and steal some clothes for some easy money. On Christmas Eve. I don't know why all these shops are open on Christmas
Yeah,
Eve. Now
it's
that I keep
impressive.
thinking it's Christmas Eve, like it's their first day of work and all these shops are open. But
Capitalism, Marley.
yeah, I guess.
That's right.
Anyways, continuing. They go in and the one girl looks like she's pregnant. The girl that's with the male the guys that are coming in to
Yeah.
steal. And she appears to be pregnant, and the guy actually gets the female's attention, the assistant of the pimp, to come help him with some clothes, and then he fakes a seizure. And while he's doing that, the girl pops out a basketball and fills her spot where they thought the baby bump
I bet that's
was.
why his name was Broadway Bill, because he put on a performance.
Oh,
like
yeah,
a Broadway
it is.
star, right?
Yeah.
Dang,
Good
dude.
call.
Just
Good call.
You really read
Ice
that.
Ice Cube doesn't fuck around. He
Yeah.
digs deep.
That's right. His character
So deep
character
it put
names
your
have
butt
meaning.
to sleep.
So deep. Perfect. Oh man. Well, yeah. So while this is happening,
It's a good day.
he's faking the seizure. The female is putting clothes where her baby bump was, trying to steal the clothes, and Ice Cube is looking out for the Pimps and Hoes owner and happens to see that going, oh, we got a cat attacking a wire over here.
One wire that shouldn't be attached.
Oh shit! And he fucked it up too.
There we go. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Still there?
Hey,
Oh yeah, Gizmo.
We almost had more technical.
Actually, it's messed up again. Hold on, keep doing that.
There we go.
Gizmo.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's out. It's out.
technical difficulties.
Check 1 2.
Gizmo.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Check 1 2.
Yeah,
Check
you're
1
still
2.
good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Gizmo made her episodely appearance. Last time I think she knocked a.
It's a,
He. Sorry. Well, either way, you know.
that's why he's
Gender's fluid. It's 2017. Open your mind. Last time he knocked it like your drum machine off the table or something, didn't he? All right. Apologies. Hi, Gizmo. And now Gizmo's
Now
being
he's
very
attacking.
sweet.
Yeah, he's gonna go after my cord now. But
Because apparently Marley B smells like cats.
I have cats, and I work.
Gogurts, man.
I work at a pet store, so I'm always smelling like animals, I guess.
Look at that, Tucson, getting the background info on Marley B.
Yeah.
That's
Do you ever
what
get chased by like coyotes or like?
Coyotes.
Yeah.
Coyotes don't really come in for food too much. There's dogs here and there. I've never been chased by a dog, thankfully.
What
I
about?
saw coyotes
I mean,
on like 9.
he works at the Grand Alvernon.
I work at the
Island
Grant
the other
Alvernon store, so I have been chased by a few tweakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very
Those are good stories.
active in that area. So that's it's fun
You
out there.
smell like fish.
Yeah.
Get over here, son.
Hey, you got any free samples?
Oh man.
That's the worst. Trying to get that cat gogurt.
Yeah.
Gogurt for cats.
Gogurt for cats. Gizmo liked it.
Yeah.
Gizmo would give one thumb up if she was he was one of those cats that actually had.
If she had an opposable thumb.
Because those cats are.
It's a he.
and, and Marley had extra samples.
Hey, I just
So I gotta say, if you see Marley on the streets,
Hit him up.
hungry cat,
Hit him up for those
holler
kitty
at me.
treats.
Holler at me.
Yeah, holler at him. Like,
It's got the
dude,
straight hookup
your
on
album-
them kitty
your album
treats.
is Fire.
You cop
Can I get some cat
you
gogurt?
cop an album, you get 4 cat gogurts with it.
Dude, there you
Got a new
go.
deal going on.
So anyhow,
Yeah,
Craig once again. Actually, both Craig and Day Day intercept. Craig grabs Craig grabs Broadway Bill.
Yeah.
And Day Day grabs Booster
female.
Pat.
Yep.
And
Takes the
Booster Pat ain't having it. She just throws a wicked fight.
Yeah.
So,
she kind of beats up Day Day a little
yeah.
bit, and then Craig kind of helps out and takes the clothes out. And the pimp is highly upset. Cat Williams is highly upset about this, and he's upset at his hoe that he calls her, his
Donna, why
coworker
you gotta
that's
be
just
so
so
cruel?
helpful for him and so sweet, and he's just so mean to her. But she didn't see the robbery, so he's quite upset. And Cat Williams tries to go out and tip Craig and Day Day, and Craig, being the all-American human being, God-fearing man,
Stand-up dude.
he's changed so much since
general.
Friday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the original Friday, in these 2 weeks
After
or whatever
that
it may have
Friday,
been.
Things ain't never the same.
Yeah. So yeah, and they won't take the money. So what happens next? Let's think.
What happens
Hey.
next? Let's see. After that scene.
And then the grannies.
Grannies
The
come
grannies,
back.
the grannies
Dun,
actually
dun, dun.
go get their family, who is the local gang members that are pretty tough and scary, and they come back and try to chase Craig and Day Day away.
Yes.
And they,
Which they accomplish.
yeah, they do.
Which
They do chase him
accomplish.
away. This is where we got kind of confused. Is
Yeah.
they just kind of quit? They kind of gave up on
So
it. They're like,
They
it's not worth
just
it.
dip out. They go into some restaurant and take off their security shirts, and then
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
shows.
"Oh,
It shows.
sorry,
It shows Holy Moly getting chased away by
Yeah.
the gang members too, as well, right?
Yeah, well, they kick his ass. They beat him up for hiring more security,
Oh, yeah.
And he fires them.
and then he fires them for not saving his ass when they were kicking it.
Okay.
And then he's like, "You guys are fired." And then they're standing there on the sidewalk, and
Pretty
of
sad.
course, Craig's dad and Day Day's dad, who have the barbecue shop, Mr. Jones and Uncle Elroy, John Witherspoon and Don DC Curry, respectively, come out, and they're like, "Well, are we still gonna have the Christmas party tonight?" And they're like, "Oh, we don't know. We don't feel like doing a Christmas party now." And he says, "No, you got to do it. We have to have something here in the hood." So, like, John Witherspoon totally drives the rest of this movie from that point on.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
everything-
much.
And we kind of cut out the other thing that happens with John and DC, where they do the whole like photo shoot in the barbecue shop.
Oh, yeah.
John dresses up as
Santa.
as Santa, and DC dresses up as a reindeer, and the kid who plays Zero.
Oh yeah,
Holes.
He was in it.
Is riding DC Curry like a fucking like a bucking bronco. It's like holy shit, that's the kid from Holes.
That's Zero, dude.
Zero. And
He went from digging holes to riding Uncle Elroy on
to skating
right after next.
Lil Bow Wow and Roll Bounce.
True.
Another great film that we were talking about earlier, but we won't get into that.
I think it's crazy
Probably a
that
sequel to
I was so high at that moment that I forgot about that whole gangster chase.
Yeah. It was. You know what's weird though?
I think we all did. I think that was the point of it too, though.
I don't remember that at all.
I think at a certain point we were all looking down at our phones. I was doing notes, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh wait, like it just happened so fast. Yeah, and that's the thing about this movie. Yeah, that's the thing about this movie is that it's really like, here's something that happens, here's something that happens, here's something that happens, and then all of a sudden you're at a party for the rest of the movie. So this is where the party scene begins. All of a sudden it's nighttime in the hood.
Yeah.
And they all go back to Craig and Day Day's house and start having a party. So,
So they're back there having a party. They don't seem too worried about getting their rent money.
No. No, even though they've been threatened. Oh, we didn't really ever talk about that. In the beginning of the movie, the landlord, who is it? She's Mrs. Pearly, played by Bebe Drake, who's one of those actresses that's been in like every black sitcom from like 1975 on. She's been in everything. She has like a million roles that she's done. You would know her if you saw her, most likely. She threatens them with her son, who was just released from jail, freshly out of prison. Damon, who's got his name tattooed on his own chest, and is played by the amazing Terry Crews.
I think that's the best role of the movie for sure.
Yeah, it's great. And apparently, I don't know if it was jail or if it was just his orientation prior to going to jail, but all of a sudden he's all about the dudes. And so like he keeps asking Day Day and Craig for hugs and stuff. So anyhow, that's a good lead-in because
watching the Tupac video and
he kind of
dancing
comes into the next part. But he basically takes over the Debo hole that's missing without Debo there.
You should watch Moonlight.
It's not fun. No. So
they can continue to party. Everybody shows up from even to Pinky, Pinky, who's the old boss from the Pinky's record shops next Friday.
So, yeah, I didn't know who Pinky was.
Yeah, Romo was at a loss.
Romo never saw Next Friday, so he doesn't know who Pinky is. Pinky's great though.
Yes.
And
Pinky, actually, let me, because he's also a pretty prominent actor. Clifton Powell, who was in like House Party and Dead Presidents. I most recently, what I loved him in was Ray. I think as he was what's the guy's name in that? But he was like the manager. I'm pretty sure he was the band leader that gets like fired later on in the film. Anyhow, but yeah, great actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. But he shows up at the party, and Cat Williams shows up with his woman.
Shows up with his girl, who's of course Craig's love interest,
right?
Which everybody's aware of at this point. And let's see. It shows Craig and Uncle Elroy's Craig's dad and Uncle Elroy partying pretty hard with some ladies, dancing, having a good time.
All about, Money Mike.
Damon comes in and he's all about Money Mike. He's like, hey, introduce me to your friend Craig. Just super excited to
That was a good impression.
Super excited to meet Money Mike. Super attracted to his little boyish figure, and he actually sneaks in behind him when Cat Williams goes to the bathroom to take a piss. Terry Crews, Damon sneaks in behind him and proceeds to harass him.
Does he knock him out? Because doesn't Cat just like wake up on the floor?
Yeah, at one point, I believe he knocks him out. Or chokes him out, maybe.
He faints.
Oh, he faints.
Okay.
When he starts approaching him sexually in the bathroom, and he's 6'6", 260 pounds. I think I might pass out too.
Are all the way down when he's taking a piss.
Yeah, that too. That's you got to make a note of that. It's like the kindergarten pee when you walk in. You see when you're in elementary school and the kindergartners are at the urinal with their pants all the way down, just ass cheeks out, dude. Hey, man. I think I'm gonna bring that back.
I'm guilty of it.
Why not?
Bring it back.
Be loud and proud.
Probably didn't.
Meanwhile,
in Miller's bathroom before this.
So while this is going on in the bathroom, it kind of skips over to a clip of Craig pulling what does she go by in the movie? Donna into the room, into his bedroom, which she comments is nice and clean for being a bachelor, and he talks about how comfy his bed is, and super smooth player lines are throughout the movie. It's kind of corny, kind of hard to watch at points.
Yeah,
it was.
But that was the game that Ice Cube always spit.
Yeah,
like
it
all
was
the
always-
movies, his game was really bad.
Yeah.
Like it was always really
Super
bad.
corny-
but the
corny
girls
game.
were always really into him, and they were
Yeah.
always really cute. Like the girl in the second one was a very attractive
Yeah.
young lady as well. I don't know her name. I didn't look it up because we didn't watch it. But yeah, always.
The girl in the first one was super
And then,
hot.
of course, to keep in theme or in step with the other movies, Craig's dad, John Witherspoon, has to take a crap.
Of course. Of course. So he heads down to the landlord's bathroom because the bathroom's taken and they don't know what Cat Williams is taking so long in the bathroom for. So
Right.
Craig says, "Oh, just go downstairs to Miss Pearlie's bathroom and use that one there." And when he comes out of the bathroom, Miss Pearlie's on the couch waiting for him. Miss Pearlie is super attracted to John Witherspoon.
Yeah, it comes up in the beginning of the movie too, and I'm like, how does she even know him? But they did have that commercial, I guess.
Yeah, well, they had, I guess, they knew each other from back in the day somehow. Because
day,
remember, Damon
when he
says
was a
something about,
teenager.
"I haven't seen you guys since you were little ones." He's like, "Oh,"
Okay.
and they're like, "Yeah, we were like this big." He's like, "You grown up now, though." Like super excited about them being grown up. So yeah, he goes down there and Miss Pearlie kind of advances on
Ugh.
Yeah,
Craig's
she
dad,
grabs
Mr.
him by the
Jones.
balls and like rips him over the couch.
Yeah, flips him over the couch, kind of starts making out with him with her mustache. And then when this is happening, Craig's mom is at the party as well. And
Yeah.
He asks where his dad is, and he's like, "Oh, he went downstairs to use the bathroom," and then realizes that, oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea, Miss
Right.
Dad. So the mom and Craig rush down there. I believe a fight kind of ensues between the two ladies.
Yeah. Mom, I think she to use the phrase snatches the weave
Yep.
up off her head. It's a pretty hilarious fight scene, and it's what we're gonna
Fire
this
truck.
is Tucson. This is Tucson fire truck. And so then it's funny, like the way this movie is filmed. There's this whole like really fast cut sequence of the fight, and then it stops with her like getting, probably like freeze frames with her getting pulled back by her hair.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile upstairs,
It goes back to the Cat Williams and Damon in the bathroom there.
Yeah.
And as Damon's about to take over on Cat, I think he gets a pair of vice grips.
Yeah,
Vice
Cat
grips
Williams
and
reaches back behind the toilet where they
grabs
have like
the plumbing.
one of those
Some of
clamp
the-
wrenches.
It's a
Probably
vice
turn the
grip,
water off.
I believe.
Yeah,
Probably.
busted
Yeah.
old plumbing, and he
He uses it to
grabs
grab Damon's nuts
those. Oof.
and clamp down on them.
And he becomes like in charge of him the whole night.
What's that?
He like becomes in charge of him the whole
he's
night.
basically got him by a leash of his nuts, and proceeds to walk him out the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, he proceeds to walk him out the party by the vice grips that are attached to his nuts. And kind of parades him through the party, showing everybody.
Friday after next.
And by this point, Craig and his mom and dad are coming out of the downstairs,
Yeah.
the landlord's apartment, and she's talking about evicting them. "Oh, you guys got to get out of here." And then they slam the door on her, and then all of a sudden you see Cat Williams walk by with Damon holding on to his vice grips that are connected to his nuts, and Ice Cube is walking with him. I believe
Yeah.
they're walking out to the car where the Donna is waiting.
Yeah, Donna's in the car.
Money Mike is waiting for him, and so Money Mike decides to give the
Give the vice grips to
Vice
Ice
grips to
Cube, and
Ice-
Ice Cube's
Ice
like,
Cube.
"No, I'm not taking those
Yeah.
vice grips."
Yeah.
And then like, okay, finally they do the count off, and he's like, he's gonna take it, but he doesn't. And Donna peels out without
peels
Money
off.
Mike.
Yeah, before he's able to get into the PT Cruiser, I believe it was. Was it? Or no,
Was
was
it
it
a
Plymouth
Prowler, right?
Was it a Prowler?
Prowler, yeah.
Prowler.
God, it
Sick.
looked all
So
futuristic.
weird.
Sick.
So sick.
Cool
So sick,
car
dude.
for 2002 especially.
Should have done a
Pretty
burnout.
pimp
dude.
ride.
Yeah.
Literal pimp ride. And that's
yeah,
like the
so
end of the movie.
Yeah, that's basically the no.
Oh, that's right.
Because Santa, they see.
Oh,
they just
right,
happen to see the
Santa.
Santa that
Come
they.
back to the Santa plot
Yeah.
finally at this
so
point.
Santa
And
is
then shit gets dark and weird.
Yeah, this is where-
With a gun and fucking.
the old man. So like they see the Santa that originally stole from them and stole their uncle's watch, and they decide to chase him, and they follow him to his house, I believe.
No, it's not his
little-
house. It's just
It's like a
actually
crack-
turns out it's
he's
those
breaking in.
gangsters'
He
house
broke into
from
a house.
from the parking
think.
lot.
He broke into
It's the
another house,
granny's
isn't it?
house, right?
No, at first they go into his house. I believe it's like a stash house where he has all the presents. Remember,
right.
and it's like a
That's
crack
when he's
house,
opened the-
trap house. That just like has no power. Pretty
The
much.
data shirt.
So he
that's
does
when
that,
wears
and that's where they bust in on him, and then he gets away from them there.
Right.
And that's where they chase him through the yards. They run through the granny's house. They run through the old man's house. The old man, who's just so upset about people running through his yard, he decides to come out with a shotgun and
chasing
chase
them
them
down
down,
the street, shooting into people's houses.
running into these random houses.
Who we think is played by Mike Epps as well,
I
right?
think it's Mike Epps. If anyone can confirm that, all of our listeners, if you'll open up Google or do what we didn't bother to do, it's actually
he's got
not
all the
listed in
makeup
IMDb, so it's not like I didn't try. I just didn't try that hard.
It's like the clump makeup,
Yeah.
It's just like makes him look like an old man.
know.
It's definitely one of the two.
it worked. It worked for Eddie.
Yeah, and so they kind of run, and then I believe they finally catch Santa when he falls out of a window, the gangster's house window. They throw him out of
Yes.
a window, and Craig and Dad. Oh, that's right. No, because
Yeah,
he gets
Pinky
up
hits
from
him
that
with
and he
his
runs,
fucking
and
limo.
then Pinky hits him with the limo.
Oh my
And
God,
that's where
he
it finally-
rolls all the way
Yeah.
back the limo.
It's got that-
Yeah.
It's
that
got that good
sequence
scene
was like
there.
5 minutes long. That rolling
Yeah, it's like 15
top.
rolls, like,
Yeah, on top of a limo.
like it's the most stretched limo ever. It's a pretty good scene. And yeah, they catch him there, and then I believe they hog tie him to a sleigh on top of a
Yeah.
roof, which is just some sort of
Christmas decorations.
Christmas decorations. They leave him up there, and that's kind of how it ends. It shows them going back to get their stuff. And
Yeah,
that's
they
it.
do a cut scene to explain everything that happens after that, which like it makes you think, how did the movie actually end?
Which is very Police
originally?
Academy.
Yeah, because then it's Ice Cube narrating. He's like,
Yeah.
so then I got the girl to come back to my house, which I feel like they used the footage from the party scene again.
Yeah.
That part, and they showed what else did they show? A couple other tie.
They show
Oh yeah, Damon's
still chasing Cat Williams. Day Day was getting with two girls until Craig's
Yeah.
mom walks in on him. That's kind of his last scene.
Yeah,
So it just kind of leaves everybody
wraps it
on.
up in a-
It was an all right Christmas. You're getting evicted
Right.
the next day, but you know what? We had a good time.
yeah. That's just it. They didn't solve the problem in this one, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh
I
no,
guess-
they did because they got their shit back.
They did get
went
their
back
stuff
to the crackhead's
that's true.
house, and they
did
were
get their
walking down
rent
the
money.
street with
But
the-
are they still going to get evicted because of what happened with Miss
Oh,
Pearly?
yeah.
So that they never do touch on that. I don't believe.
Well, yeah, they don't. But that's
Yeah.
they like to tie it up with a nice, pretty Christmas bow.
Yeah.
The cutscene.
was Friday after that.
So yeah, usually what we do on here is we try to get people that feel strongly about a sequel. Which would you say between the original Friday?
Well, of course it's the
Friday After
original
Next.
one. Yeah, of course it's the original one. But that's just like that's one of those movies that you can never do better
Yeah.
than. I just like the concept of Friday. I like the actors. I like the cast of Friday After Next and Next
Yeah.
Friday. It's still tolerable,
Yeah.
for a sequel of a
Still fun.
blockbuster like that. It's not one that you're like, oh, I hate it because it didn't live up to Friday. It still
No.
lives up to its own thing.
And it never bores you. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's just, it's always something going on. It happens. It's like there's sketches that happens in 5-10 minute segments. But
It is
yeah.
stoner comedy, and I'm
Right.
a stoner, so that's
And
why
it's
it's
a
always
holiday
been.
film.
Yeah,
So you have a reason to put it on
Yeah.
during Christmas,
The annual
or
thing.
January 22nd, whatever.
Stoner
whenever
Christmas.
you choose stoner Christmas, whenever you choose to actually acknowledge the holiday. Well, yeah, I mean, this was definitely one that we had on the list. So yeah, thank you for suggesting it.
Yeah, for sure.
We had a blast. Now that we're at the end of the Friday conversation, let's see here. I'm just going to say what other people said about it real quick. Some reviews. I think it stands up. Probably if I had seen it in the theater, I still would have enjoyed it in the theater. I probably would have been stoned if I would see it in the theater. But I still think it stands up. Pike, any thoughts on
don't know.
the
I mean,
15, 20 minutes of the movie that you got to see?
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Probably the limo portion and the animated opening scene
The
credits
animated
was
oh
interesting.
man, I wish I would have
So-
looked up who the animator was. But yeah, that opening sequence was on par with the animated sequence.
Very
elements.
Weekend at Bernie's too.
Weekend of Bernie's 2, which
and
was
the-
the first one that we ever
And the
did.
Mo Thugs closing song.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was
for
a
the
banger
credits.
too.
That was
Shout
pretty
out to
great.
Crazy Bone.
That was
a banger.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not.
Romo.
Well, compared to even the movies that came out that year,
Right.
like it's really low.
It's
really
But
low.
so
Well,
many
if you want to know
blockbusters came
exactly
out.
how low, it was number 79 that year. Box office gross.
Yeah,
Pretty low.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's that high, honestly.
Damn.
For real.
Well, how
though.
many movies come out a year?
Yeah, like that make box office.
Yeah.
There were some big name movies that year though.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was some
There
huge
was
movies.
Spider-Man.
Those are all pretty big
There was a
names.
Star
Lord
Wars
of the
movie.
Rings. There was
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Spider-Man was the winner that year, though, which I understand. Yeah, it was number one in 2002.
Wow.
Romo, do you remember what happened in the movie?
Yeah, I mean some of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay, but like I haven't seen the second one, so a lot of characters like
Right.
I don't really know who they were.
A few of them are continuations from next Friday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I mean, it was entertaining. It was like I was really high, and it was perfect.
That's perfect.
yeah, it's a good stoner comedy to throw on. And
Yeah. We smoked a blunt, which I rarely do. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
So the movie gets 2 blunts.
So it gets at least one blunt up.
One
We did
blunt up.
One blunt 3/4. I think I was finally like, no, I'm good. But yeah, well, fuck. We definitely want to swing back around and talk more about Hip Hop Fest now that you've sat through our ramblings.
no, that's fun. I like
We've
it.
got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's coming up here February 25th, 2017. Maybe you want to just give us your
Tucson-
your elevator
Sure.
pitch.
Yeah, no, just the Tucson Hip Hop Festival happening February 25th, 2017. $10 for the entire day. It's from
And that
12
works
to
at all the
12.
venues.
That'll work at all the venues, and there's a total of 6 stages. So we have Exploded View, which will be which will contain basically panel talks and workshops with industry artists or industry people, everything from journalism to just knowledgeable like educational stuff to mellow music, talking about running a label and such. And then we have Studio One, which will have rappers. That'll be a rap stage, and then we have a rap van, which will be going around town. And then we have outside stage, and then the main stage is going to be 191 Tool,
Right.
which will contain main stage rappers here in the city. And then outside the city, we have Merv headlining the whole festival. So it should be really dope, really fun.
Yeah.
And it's just exciting that we can actually hold something like this here in the city, show the diversity of Tucson hip hop, and everything from b-boys to graffiti artists.
Yeah.
Do you know the
DJs.
lineup for which rappers are going to be in the rap van?
Yeah, we do. We have Donnie Kai, who's going to be in there, and Justice Old Sport. And they're going to be doing 2 runs, and those are going to be from like 4 to 8.
How many people can they actually get in the van?
to actually fit in the van?
Yeah.
15 is really like the good
Right.
amount. So we'll do 2 runs of that.
If you're not familiar with the Tucson Rap Van, it's really like a Tom Jones or Headlocks kind of
Yeah. So Tom, basically it's Tom's baby. Like, basically it's a mobile sprinter van that it's a not a passenger. What is it called? Anyway, it's an empty it's an empty sprinter van.
Hollowed out. Yeah.
Hollowed out. Yeah. So it's just just right around town for about a half an hour, and you just have a mobile rap show.
Yeah.
With artists, and it's just fun. It's really intimate,
Super intimate,
and it can get rowdy at times. So
Yeah,
it's
I haven't
really
done it
dope.
yet. I know a lot of people that have though, and
Yeah.
it sounds like a blast. Sounds
Yeah,
like
it's fun.
Well, it's a moving party.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah.
the goal is to showcase as much of Tucson hip hop that we can,
Right.
and like I said, the diversity culture of it. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be
What
real
time
dope.
are things? Oh, it's 12 to 12.
12? Yeah,
on the
12
25th of
p.m. to
February.
12 a.m.
So if you have anything that's in conjunction and you're posting it on the worldwide interwebs, be sure to hashtag that with THHF17.
Yeah.
And show your love and support for what's going on here in Tucson. You guys are doing this in conjunction with Africana Studies,
Yep.
Humanities on U of A campus.
Yeah. The
That's awesome.
Africana Studies with U of A. They have donated and to be a part of the festival, and
Yeah.
they run a hip hop minors program out of the U of A, and it's super awesome.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's great to have that type of thing in a university.
Oh, absolutely. No,
So-
U of A is coming around.
Yeah,
I
being
work
taken
on
serious.
campus, and we just hosted a Martin Luther King Jr. event on Sunday, the 15th. and a lot of the campus departments were involved, and we had a lot of
Awesome.
local social activist groups there and a lot of community musicians. Rock was a main component in that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Those of you that know Rock, he's a local oh man,
Legend.
he's a man of
Everything.
all trades. That
One of
dude
the-
does it
yeah.
all.
Yeah,
He's
he's
Yeah, one of the best in the
something else.
city.
Yeah, so
Third time.
definitely check him out too. But yeah, awesome to do something in conjunction with the university. I mean, we all live here, and it is a big part of what happens in Tucson.
sure.
You know, it's I feel like sometimes the university acts as a weeding out process, and the people that are really awesome and can connect with this community stick around,
Yeah.
and the ones that are just like the California kids that came out here to party take off, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, working on campus definitely it's
Yeah.
cool to be in conjunction with that because it's kind of part of the young heartbeat, especially
For sure.
of what's going on in
Yeah,
Tucson.
and you know that's kind of one of my goals is to kind of reach the university more so like with the college students and stuff because
Yeah.
you know like other than just going to Congress or whatever, like there's plenty of cool stuff happening here in Tucson. There's so
Definitely.
much DIY type of stuff that you know.
And is this all ages
Wanna
or
be
is
involved.
this?
Yeah, it's all ages. It's 13 suggested.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Language-wise.
but just because language wise. But other than that, yeah, like
Don't bring your 6-month-old baby.
Yeah, you
Someone
know-
did that at Kamasi, Washington. I was like, "What are you doing? This is a
That's-
fucking party jazz show."
that's
Don't bring
Timo.
your
Shout
6-month-old
out,
baby.
shout out to Timo.
Show me the drugs.
Is that your friend?
Yeah, Timo.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I
No,
don't
it's
mean to
okay.
talk shade.
No. We all talk shade because of that. It was funny.
They tried to
was
buy
funny.
earplugs. God bless their soul. But the kid's too young. Anyhow. But yeah, I would have. I don't know what I would have done if I was in a pinch and couldn't have seen at least part of that show.
Yeah.
I'm even wearing my shirt today because I was so geeked out about it. Anyhow. But yeah. Fucking Tucson Hip Hop Fest. Man, you have dropped that phone a lot.
All right, dude.
No, that's cool.
Android life.
It's cool. It's an Android, exactly. You can drop this thing fucking 1,000 times. It'll still work. Might blow up, but
Yeah, it'll definitely
At a
explode.
certain point, it will blow up. But yes, TucsonHipHopFestival.com for more
Yep.
details.
Yes.
Like
Tickets on
mentioned,
sale.
or as mentioned, Merz will be headlining that one. Go to that
Sick.
website to get the full rundown of artists that you can expect to see there. And only $10 for a 12-hour show. Dip in, dip out. You know, is it re-entry?
Yeah,
And
re-entry.
so-
I mean, it's
There you go.
Yeah, so it's
hang out
essentially
downtown.
it's a block party. What
Yeah.
it comes down to. So
That's awesome.
we got
Like,
we'll have
that's
food
such a good
trucks
idea.
and we have an outside stage. You know, pushing
how
buttons.
many artists is it?
We have over 100 artists actually.
Golly.
We thought in the beginning it was only going to be about 60, and then once we expanded with the stages and figured out the format, came out to just right pretty much at 100 people. So
Wow.
it's a lot for sure, but
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
really the thing is like Tucson like breeds quality over quantity. So
absolutely.
that's what's just so good about it. Like everything you see there will probably be on point.
Awesome. Be sure to check out the website. Once again, that is TucsonHipHopFestival.com. Remember that hashtag THHF17.
Yeah.
And February 25th. So definitely come down. Marley will be Marley B
Yep.
will be performing. Do you know what stage you're on?
Yeah, I'll be on the main stage.
There you go.
Probably around like 9 o'clock or something like
Yeah.
that.
Boom.
that night. So
Prime
it'll be fun.
time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
have a good
Is
time.
is your set just you, or are you going to be up?
Yeah,
there?
it's just me. I mean, all my friends, like all the people I work with, basically have their own sets at this
Yeah,
show. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
kinda-
yeah. I would
I mean,
imagine that's
of course,
the
I'll
case.
probably bring a couple friends out
Cool.
and do a couple collaborations and things like that. But
Right.
it'll basically be a
Yeah.
solo set. So.
It's a celebration of just Tucson hip hop.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what we're going for. So.
I bet there's going to be a whole bunch of surprises getting pulled out of sacks at the show. So definitely come down and check it out if you want to see what's actually going to happen. guys.
Yeah.
Well, dang. Thank you guys so much for being here, for reaching out,
Yeah.
and for
Yeah.
being involved. Marley, it's been an awesome hanging
Yeah.
out today. It's
Thank
been a
you guys,
pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing because you're on a track, man, and,
thank
and
you.
it seems like people are starting to notice. So keep it up.
Thank
and,
you, man. Appreciate
and
that.
for you as well, Pike.
Thank you.
I have a hard time. You know what's funny is that Pike and I feel like we met through
Vine, yeah.
which is dead now.
That's funny.
If you're not aware,
Yeah.
R.I.P. Vine, January
dude.
17th. 2 fingers to the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's weird to meet someone through a bizarre app and then finally meet them in real life. But no, I've been aware of your presence in this town for a while, and what you've been doing for the hip hop community at large. I mean, I have a hard time thinking that there's any Tucson rapper that I'm aware of that you haven't worked with in some capacity,
for the most part.
Yeah,
whether
probably.
it be producing or promoting or performing.
If not worked with, at least he knows about them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
I try to. So
Yeah. Well, keep spreading all that love
Thanks,
around the community. You guys are doing a great job. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Oh, actually, thank you, Stephen Romo, for...
Yeah, thanks Marley for making me like obliteratedly high right now.
Yeah.
I think I said like 10 words the entire podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is real chill. I'm just gonna hear my friends talk. I'm just gonna rest my eyes.
he just put his mic down. He's just, I'm all right.
We spent all that time fixing your microphone. They didn't even use the motherfucker. All right. And Justin,
I'm just chill right now, man.
You're super chill.
yeah,
It's real fucking chill.
Wave. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You're chill out. Chillaxed. And of course, thank you, Justin Miller, for producing the show and being the ghost in the
know
shell.
what? I just realized right now Justin's going to be a part of the hip hop festival as well.
Justin's throwing down. Justin
He's doing a beat set. I forgot about that.
He's done quite a few at the recent pushing buttons shows that he actually helps in conjunction with Rock, right?
Yeah.
Hosts at Flycatcher, which what do they normally try to do the first Friday of the month? First Saturday of every month.
I think that just
February
saw one.
4th.
February 4th. Yeah, the next one's
February
February 4th.
The next one.
There you go. And that's another great community that's trying to pull not just people that are known, but people that are, hiding in their bedrooms, but are these, mastermind producers. Yeah. And I think that's really cool, giving them a chance to show their wares out on the streets and show how they do it and talk about the process, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So dope.
It adds a whole element that you don't usually get from going to like a hip hop show.
It's great networking for rappers
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah, I
I've
would
gone out
imagine
there
so.
and I got a beat for my album from Pushing Buttons from Binby. Actually, I
that's
just
awesome.
bugged him. I heard it at Pushing Buttons and I was like, dude, give me that beat.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I want that so bad.
Tucson.
Finally got it from him. So I mean, it's just about networking, and there's so many dope producers out here that you just don't even know about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, Tucson hip hop coming up. All right. Well, thank you all for listening today.
Yeah,
This exciting
thank you.
episode of Electric Boogaloo Part 2. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See you in the future.
Deuces.
See you later.